So Adobe came out with an exciting release for Illustrator this past week. They incorporated the option to crop an image directly in Adobe Illustrator. Now the process is really simple, and so this video is going to be pretty short, but I thought it would be very helpful to take a look at this new feature and how you can apply it in your work in Adobe Illustrator. So you'll notice that I have a document open on the screen, and the first thing I'm going to do is place an image in the document. So I'm going to choose File, and then I'm going to choose Place. And you'll notice that I have a couple images saved in this folder. So we're just going to go ahead and choose this first image here, and we'll just place it right here. Now there's a lot going on in this image, as you can see. I'll give you a little bit of background. I'm here with my son, that's me and that's my son, and we were at a Utah Jazz game, and lo and behold, we saw this bearded beauty right here. This is the director of Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho Libre, and Gentlemen Broncos. And you don't see this guy in a crowd and not go up to him and try to get a picture with him. And wow, this guy is so awesome. His name's Jared Hess. He's totally down to earth guy. Very cool. Was so excited to have his picture taken with us. As probably not as excited as we were to have our picture taken with him. But anyways, so that's just a little bit of the background behind this picture. Let's say I want to make this a square picture and crop it. So you'll notice right in the top toolbar now, you have the option to crop an image. I'm going to move this over to the side a little bit so that we can see the artboard. You'll notice that I have a square artboard, and we want this picture to be square. So all I have to do is click the crop image button in the top toolbar, and you'll notice that a warning comes up and says cropping a linked file embeds a copy of the original. The original file at the linked location is not affected. What that means is basically it's going to make a copy of this image and embed it into your Adobe Illustrator file. So it will increase the size of your Adobe Illustrator file. Shouldn't be a huge deal unless you're cropping a bunch of pictures in Adobe Illustrator. In that case, you may want to crop them in a different program like Adobe Photoshop, and then place those image files in your Adobe Illustrator file. The ideal circumstance in which you would crop an image in Adobe Illustrator is when you're probably only doing one or two images at most. Depending on the size of the image files, your Adobe Illustrator file itself could get pretty large embedding a bunch of those images. So I'm just going to select OK. You'll notice that you're given a crop box like you would see in other image editing programs. If you're coming from Adobe Photoshop, the behavior is just a tad bit different. You'll notice that you can adjust the crop box, but you can't move around the image underneath the crop box like you can in Adobe Photoshop. So that kind of changes the behavior just a little bit. What I want to do is have this be a square image. In Adobe Photoshop, for example, you're given different ratios to crop the image with, and one of which is square that you can choose. In this case, what we're going to do is edit the height value of the pixels to mirror the width value. So all I have to do is change this value here to 2448 and then hit enter, and now you'll see that this box is 2448 by 2448, which gives us a perfect square. So I can move that around, and then I can hit apply, and now I've got this image that I can then shrink, and we can make it the actual size of the artboard, which in this case is 618, and then I can go ahead and align that to the artboard itself, and now I've got a perfect square image of this photo, and I can do what I want with it. One more cool thing that I want to show you real quick is the ability to mask photos. So I'm going to place one more image here, and this is basically the same scene. However, my younger but better looking brother is in the photo with us, and so you'll notice that I have right next to crop image, I have mask. So I'm going to click mask. Now you'll notice that I didn't get a warning saying that the image is going to be embedded. It's still just linking to that original image. And as soon as I click away, that image is going to be masked. Now masking basically means that you're hiding portions of the image, but the original image is still intact. In fact, I can just double click on this image on the edges, and you'll notice that it's grayed out, but I can adjust the mask from here. And so at this point, I can bring in the rest of the full image, or I can just adjust the mask a little bit, and then I can just go ahead and click escape, and then I'm good to go. So pretty awesome new features in Adobe Illustrator, especially the cropping option. It's going to save us graphic designers a lot of time, especially if we're only using 1 or 2 images in an Illustrator file. So the ability to crop, pretty awesome. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe below. I am excited to share my knowledge of Adobe Illustrator with you and look forward to interacting with you on YouTube. Go out and create some awesome designs.